It's about getting home at night to your family.
Everybody shares a common motivation to work safely, and that's to go home to our families every night and be involved in our family activities and hunting, fishing, going to the lake for the weekend.
I got 2 daughters. I got grandkids. I'm a grandpa now, so my kids motivate me to be safe.
Safety has been a very key part of our job for years. It's just part of what we do. It's no different than any other task that we do.
Everybody needs to know what their expectations are for the day. They need to know what hazards they're going to be encountering for the day. They also need to know that if they come across something that wasn't planned or a hazard that they maybe wasn't thought of for the day, they need to speak up.
Communication is the key to safety. I mean, when people don't feel comfortable to speak up about safety, that's when you're going to have problems. We'll talk about it as a team, or someone will say, well, something's different now, but you need to do something else, right? What do you think? And I'll ask them what they think. I don't need to tell them. No matter if they're a green guy or a 30 or 40-year guy, they gotta feel comfortable to say, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this.
You gotta provide that continuous feedback loop for the guys with the hands on the tools, back to the companies, back to the guys that are making the decisions and giving directions. When people are training other people, you don't always know what people don't know. So you've got to open up that door of communication so that people can ask those questions, and you got to make people comfortable with that.
We talk about the right to stop work if you don't understand what your task is for the day, or if you see something that's unsafe.
That rolls off the tongue pretty easy, but that's not an easy thing to execute in the field, especially for a new young guy.
It's easy for me to say I'm not having a good day, I'm not going to do this, because I've been doing this for a while. And I know that I can step aside, and I don't want to take the risk. For another individual, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you can see them having an issue, but maybe they're hesitant about bringing it up.
I had one injury incident I found fairly traumatic. It was on a well service site. It was a fairly catastrophic failure of a pump that injured a person, and it was a very serious injury. That one had a lasting impact on me because it was the triage, the emergency aspect of it was pretty powerful, and I just really don't want to see anybody else go through that again. You know, you get the RCMP involved, you get OH&S out. You're on the spot. Now you're thinking, did you do everything that you needed to do from our end to make sure this shouldn't have happened, right? It's not just to cover your butt. It's just to look inwards and say, geez, did we overlook anything? The contracting company at the time did an excellent investigation on that to find some really good corrective actions, and I learned a lot from that.
We've got lots of pipelines under the ground. I believe it's somewhere in about 3,300 kilometers of pipelines under the ground here. And so when we go to do a pipeline, a replacement, or we're doing development projects as far as our CO2, we'll do a kilometer pipeline and have 70 pipeline crossings.
We have a way we do things when we dig ditch. I mean, we have to stay a certain amount of distance away from a line, and you don't cheat on that. And I mean, you got a 20-ton excavator. It's got a lot of pull. It can do a lot of damage. It's the training, support from the company, and just your mindset.
There's never been a safety concern that we've ever had that hasn't been acted on and dealt with right away with Whitecap. We had a concern raised last winter about the guys having to pound steel fence posts into the frozen ground. We had a discussion about it, and there was an option that these floating posts were available. Within 2 days, we had a truckload of them brought to our laydown yard for our use. So to me, that just shows the commitment of safety from Whitecap to support our people as contractors out in the field.
I feel like I'm just carrying the torch to try to keep our culture going. You got to be very careful that you are open, because the last thing you want is for people not to be reporting stuff just to keep the safety record going. You have to take your near misses as opportunities. Do investigations on your near misses. If you don't, they're going to pile up and they're becoming your incidents. Small issues that are brought forward by the guys, if you deal with them, it should prevent you from having some big issues.
Once you get buy-in from people, they feel empowered. And when they feel empowered, they feel proud of themselves. And when they feel proud of themselves, I mean, they'll do good work.
Change. It's inevitable. Changes to your work plan, your resources, work delays, or changes to the dig site all impact your locate request. Take control of the change. Log into your SAS First Call account and make the changes you need. Update information, cancel a ticket, change the on-site contact, request relocates. It all can be done online. Need help? Register for a SAS First Call webinar, chat with an online agent, or visit sasfirstcall.com.